And Bronte was the youngest Bronte sister.
She's a forgot about little sister that people didn't pay a lot of attention to.
She was a feminist writer before I think she had the language to call herself that.
What we learn is the books that she wrote that ended up actually putting her in the place where people thought she was not as valued was actually her radicalness, her ability to say, no, I'm thinking differently outside of the time.
In the middle of her life when she was ill and she thought she was going to die, she was unsatisfied with what maybe the common thoughts of what happened when you die were.
She wrote literally until she died.
So she actually sought out other opinions about life after death, or where you go when you die. And I thought that's quite unique for someone who was quite steeped in religion, whose father was a religious figure, to go, you know what, I just need more.
I think the biggest thing audiences can take away from Anne's story is even if no one likes your art, it's still valid.
She brought something to them that maybe was too new, too future for them, because it's now that we see her sort of genius.
So for me, Anne Bronte was somebody that Jo Arnott was obsessed with.
I think that Jo is so funny. Her writing is so laugh out loud funny. And so that's such a joy to, be reading a monologue and be laughing at the words you're saying. It's so genuinely hilarious.
The playwright is magical. She is embodying that of herself, the concept of honoring the artist within.
But it's also so tender. She really walks that line of finding the sort of truth and honesty and tenderness and sadness with just laugh out loud humor.
Jo has a capacity to take something that's interesting to them, inspire you to get interested in it, and then kind of make you invest in that story. And even if you're not investing in the story, you're investing in a person who cares so much about something that becomes infectious. You're 100%, let's go. Where you want to go, I want to go with you, because you're so excited about it that you're going to carry us both that far.
Her words are beautiful as she writes them together. She sort of takes the essence of Anne and has brought it into her own writing, but yet I can hear a modern woman today reflected in how we look at who Anne was to us then and now.
Jo asked me to direct it. I was like, for sure. And I was like, I will direct this show because I really enjoy what Jo brings to just life kind of in general. When they care about something, they just dive in with both feet.
There is a lot of Anne Bronte's own writing in the play. There are letters from Anne and her sisters in the play. There's a lot of sort of verbatim text lifted from writing.
I fell in love with some of the ideas that Anne presented to us. She tells us these slips about Alexander and Zenobia, of these poems that her and her sister wrote that are Narnia level epic.
I think New Canadian work is, in my opinion, it is the way that a community, an art scene, a theater scene, a literary scene grows and changes.
Even if it's a new piece written in an old style or something like that, it tells you something about right now.
My favorite thing about Saskatoon is the support for emerging artists.
We need new voices and new forms.
We learn through stories, and I value deeply that there are people here writing and developing stories for us to learn about the world around us.
Audiences should come and see this show because it's short, which I, as an audience member, love. Under 90 minutes, no intermission, incredible. You're in, you're out, you go have a beer.
It's a tried and tested writer telling another artist to try again.
It's a new Canadian play by a Canadian woman.
Even though you failed, that there's growth in failure, that there's a place to go from that.
It's educational, it's enjoyable, and it has magic.
Fail big and fail forward.